everybody doing? Today we're going to be going over how to do a monthly check on our Draeger PSS 7000. First things first is we got to make sure that we have all the pieces of equipment here. So I have my SCBA mask, my cylinder and pack, I have my monthly check sheet, a pen to document, and molly coat. Next thing, we're going to go into our visual inspection, step one. All right, so for step one, we're going to keep it really simple, and we're going to do a good visual inspection of our pack. I'm going to start with the SCBA cylinder. I'm going to work my way down to the back plate and frame. Then I'm going to look at the shoulder straps, the Sentinel, the LDV, and the buddy breather. Look for any damage or missing parts. Next. All right, so next is step two. We're going to do the charge cylinder check. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my gauge. I'm going to make sure that I have 90% of the rated pressure, which is 4,500 PSI. So our minimum that we want is 4,050. We also, once we turn on our bottle, we want to make sure that the bottle gauge and the Sentinel are within 10% of each other, or 450 PSI. All right, so moving on to step three, we're going to check our heads-up display. Our heads-up display is located in the inside of our mask. For demonstration purposes today, I have one here that's going to connect to our bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my bottle, charge the system, and within about 45 seconds, it should connect to the BA. You will see that all the lights will turn on momentarily within 45 seconds, followed by 15 seconds on and 45 seconds off. As you can see, all of the lights are on, followed by a full bottle, which will have the 4 lights here. All right, so for the next 2 steps, we're going to do these together. First, I'm going to look at my LDV. I'm going to inspect the O-ring, make sure that there's a light shine to it. If needed, then you could put molly coat Dow 111. Just a little bit goes a long way, just along the outside of the O-ring. Next, I'm going to inspect my face piece, make sure all the parts are there, there's no damage. I'm going to turn on my comms, make sure that it turns on and the batteries are good to go. Then I'm going to connect my LDV to my mask, take a breath, and make sure that I have good flow. The other thing we want to make sure that we check is that we have good flow on the bypass, and our LDV also goes into the standby mode, which is this green button up top here. All right, so for the next few steps, we're going to kind of do them simultaneously. So next thing we're going to check is our high pressure leak test, our pass device check, and our low air alarm. So now, since my bottle is on, I'm going to go ahead and close my bottle. And I'm going to wait 20 seconds. After 20 seconds, if we should see a drop of more than 300 PSI, then that would fail our high pressure leak test. Simultaneously, while this is going on, we're also going to check to make sure that our pass alarm goes on automatically, which should also be around that time as well. You can hear a pass alarm start to engage, and right about that time, we can hear it go into full alarm. So now that we've checked our high pressure leak test, there was no more than 300 PSI within 20 seconds. Our pass alarm went off with the motion, and then we're also going to manually with the front button on the Sentinel as well. Reset our pass alarm, and lastly, we're going to check our low air alarm and our whistle. So we're going to put our hand over the outside of the LDV. I'm going to press my European bypass valve. I'm going to pay close attention to the pressure on my gauge. There should be a halfway point alarm. That's the halfway point. And then our low air alarm should go off between at about 35% of the rated pressure, or plus or minus 2%, which is 1485 to 1665 PSI. And then the tests are done. Remember to clean and disinfect your SCBA, the cylinder, the pack, and then if you get a chance, make sure that your mask is clean as well. Now that you know how to complete a monthly SCBA check, be sure to fill out the check sheet with the SCBA serial number, accountability tag number, and any inspection notes you wrote down. Send all forms to the Respiratory Protection Manager, and if you ever have any questions about whether an SCBA is in service or out of service, Be sure to consult with your company officer or anybody from the respiratory protection team with any questions.